There is a legendary white shirt that carries a weight unlike any other in sports. The iconic jersey of Real Madrid. A jersey worn by icons, winners, and immortals. Millions of young kids across the globe fall asleep dreaming of one day walking out onto the turf of the Santiago Bernabéu, hearing 80,000 voices scream their name. But for almost every single one of them, it remains just that, a distant, impossible dream. Except for one young boy from the Ivory Coast who decided that an impossible dream was simply a challenge waiting to be conquered. His name is Yan Diomande. Today, he stands as one of the most thrilling young talents in world football, having officially signed for his absolute dream club, Real Madrid. But to understand the sheer magnitude of that moment, and why his journey moves an entire nation, you have to leave the glamorous bright lights of European football behind. You have to go all the way back to where it all began, on the dusty, heat-baked pitches of West Africa. But before we dive into the rise of football's next breathtaking talent, subscribe if you like the real stories behind the world's greatest legends. Yan Diomande grew up in Côte d'Ivoire, surrounded by a country with a deep, religious passion for football. Like millions of young boys in Abidjan and beyond, football wasn't just a game to Yan. It was air, life, and an obsession. Hours were spent kicking makeshift balls across red dirt fields, playing until the tropical sun went down and the shadows swallowed the pitch. While other kids played for fun, young Yan played with a fierce, burning focus. On cracked television screens and grainy phone displays, he devoured videos of the game's greatest artists. He watched the magician Ronaldinho float past defenders with a smile. He watched his countryman Didier Drogba bully world-class defenses, through sheer power and leadership. But above all, there was one figure who captivated his soul completely, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yan didn't just watch Ronaldo, he studied him like a scientist. He analyzed the Portuguese superstar's explosive acceleration, his relentless movement off the ball, his lethal knuckleball strike, and above all, his terrifying, machine-like work ethic. Yan would spend hours on dusty local fields trying to replicate every step over, every strike, and every sprint, convincing himself that one day, he too would wear the legendary white shirt of Real Madrid. In the harsh reality of African youth football, competition is merciless. Côte d'Ivoire produces thousands of remarkably gifted players every year, but early on, plenty of people looked at Yan and doubted him. Skeptics said he was too raw. Coaches questioned whether his decision-making could adapt to the rigorous tactical demands of top-tier football. Scouts passed on him, seeing just another talented kid in a sea of millions. Yet, as difficult as those early rejections were, nothing could prepare him for the catastrophic blow that would tear his heart apart far away from the pitch. Without warning, tragedy struck his home. Yan lost his younger sister, his biggest fan, his shadow, and the person who looked at him with absolute adoration every single day. It was, without question, the most agonizing, dark, and difficult part of his entire life. The world stopped. The game that meant everything to him suddenly felt completely secondary. Grief threatened to swallow him whole. In the quiet aftermath of that heartbreaking loss, a young Yan faced a crossroads that would define the rest of his existence. He could let the pain crush him, or he could carry her memory onto the pitch forever. Yan made a silent, unshakable vow. He was going to make his little sister proud, no matter what it took, no matter how many doors slammed in his face. From that devastating moment on, his relationship with football completely transformed. Work ethic became an obsession. Yan began working out like a man possessed, hitting the gym early in the morning, and pushing his body far past its limits on the training pitch long after everyone else had gone home. When his muscles burned and he wanted to quit, he thought of her. Every extra sprint in the blistering African heat, every painful gym set, every extra hour spent perfecting his craft was done with one purpose: honoring her memory. The grief that should have destroyed his career became the very force that forged him into an unstoppable weapon. When his breakthrough moment finally came and a doorway to Europe opened, Yan seized it with both hands. Moving across continents as a young player is a daunting challenge, but after surviving the deepest personal pain imaginable, no defender or tactical system could intimidate him. On the pitch, Yan didn't flinch. His raw, explosive pace destroyed defensive lines. His skill in 1v1 situations terrified experienced fullbacks. More importantly, he possessed an icy, relentless drive that set him miles apart from everyone else. Match after match, season after season, the noise around him grew louder. Highlight reels went viral, commentators marveled at his physical transformation, and the world's biggest clubs began circling. Massive European giants offered money, fame, and guaranteed starting roles. But Yan had a single-minded destination in his head. He remembered the promise he made in his darkest hour, and he knew where that promise had to be fulfilled. When Real Madrid came calling, it was the culmination of every tear shed, every extra workout in the gym, and every ounce of pain transformed into purpose. When the deal was finalized and Yan Diomande officially walked out onto the Bernabeu pitch holding up the iconic Real Madrid jersey, he looked up at the sky. It wasn't just a football transfer. It was the ultimate fulfillment of a sacred promise to the little sister he loved so deeply. The real story of Yan Diomande isn't just about elite physical talent or flashy footwork. It's about a heartbroken brother who faced the most difficult loss of his life, channeled that grief into relentless hard work, and proved that love and memory can carry you to the very top of the world. So how do you see his story? Can Yan Diomande honor his sister's memory by becoming Real Madrid's next global legend? Tell me in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one.